Right, we're on the A6, heading towards Buxton, and at the side of the A6 you sometimes get some pull-ins, and the pull-ins seem to be next to the spinneys, which are small bits of woodland. So these are the A6 spinneys, 16 paired spinneys, Peak District National Park Authority. So I'm guessing these are looked after by the National Park. We're in another little area that is completely cut off from anywhere else, and on really busy roads. I've just parked behind a non-hazardous liquid thing, but it's got a gate, got a little path running down it, so have a quick look. I believe Rachel will probably correct me, these are celandines. So let's just have a look. I'm hoping this footpath goes a bit further than just up inside here. I'm assuming it does. But yeah, A6 spinneys then, 16 little bits of woodland, I guess at the side of the road. It's an abandoned, disused pub up at the top. I can't remember what the name is. If I remember, I'll write it on underneath here in a sec. But the intention is to somehow, oh yeah, there's a footpath going through. The intention is to get up here. What are those sheeps? Little black sheeps. Beautiful. So, just following the path, it looks like this puts me on a lane somewhere amongst the trees. So, just going to head up. There is a public right of way up here, but it's so little used, I can hardly see it on the ground. The legacy of the Peak District. Well, not really in the Peak District, to be honest. That'll be just outside on the way to Buxton. Right, so this is using my Osmo Pocket, Osmo Action. It's the one with a gimbal 3. Just to see how broken up and rubbishy the video might be using this in pretty average daylight. I've just used a GoPro Hero 13, which I unfortunately bought. I'm very disappointed with it. Very grainy video. And even though it uses in firmware or software stabilization, which is supposed to be industry best, to say the least, it's very poor. So let's just see if this is any better. This is one of those walks where I have no idea where I am. I've got a map, but I'm using Locust Maps on my phone instead. It's giving me an idea where I can walk, and then once I've had a wander around and taken some photos, I think I'll then head back to the car. Okay. Grass. And very little else. A few dandelions on the edges and nothing else. So, has that been treated different with different sprays compared to this one? Lots more dandelions, dock leaves, white flowers, which I think are daisies. Far nicer. wonder if they've been treated differently. If a tank full of herbicide has gone over this one just to make it grass, whereas this one, which is closer to the farm, has been left. I know which one I prefer to look at. Beautiful. Okay, this is a path. This is a far nicer route. No stones underfoot. It's a proper little grassy path. Looks like it's quite well used. And I believe this one takes me to the foot of Chelmorton Low. Now, is it Chelmerton or Chelmorton? Or Chelmton? That is a mystery. Right of Chelmorton Low on the horizon. Yum crotty. Have you been rolling and stuff? Now, to me, this is a rake. This is a lead rake. There's no mention it on the map, but separated by dry stone walks. It's got a deep groove, so could be quarried. But I'm sure this is what lead rakes look like. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. And there's Chelmorton Low over there. Right, it's a descent down into Chelmorton village. Pretty little chapel down here. It's actually a church, I'm guessing, because it's got a steeple. The church inn, opposite the church in Chelmorton. Absolutely splendid. Bank Top Spring. Coming out the side of a hill. I'm not going because it's just a few rocks and the stream and a trough. We've got a solitary tree in the rake, and the rest of the rake is pretty bare, apart from daisies and coarse grass. You get to underneath the tree, and we have nettles, we have some beautiful blue flowers, which I believe are forget-me-nots. We've got the tree itself, which, despite the fact that the soil's not brilliant, it's absolutely thriving. Right, last farewell to Five Wells Farm. Right, don't think I'm going to bother with Five Wells Chamber Tomb. So I've been there no end of times. There's people over there walking to it now. Yeah, bugger it, I am going to the cairn. It's only over there, so it's not a massive walk there and back. And I've got a reasonable amount of time. The only people waiting for me at home are the pups, and they can wait another half hour or so. They've had a drink, they've had some exercise. They'll be fine. Let's go to the cairn. I love the sound of skylarks. This is another, I think this is another, at least a little quarry, maybe just for wallstone. Very strange story about this burial cairn. The first time I came up here was on a cold winter's day. No one else was about. I parked down at the bottom near the depot that's down to our left for the quarry, which I think is disused now. Walked up here, couldn't see the cairn, there wasn't a great deal of visibility. And as soon as I got through this gate here, I saw it, and it was just amazing, the actual location. Walked up to it, dropped my bag because it was very cold. So I dropped my bag, got my camera out quickly, started snapping photos. None of the photos were really that good because of the cold, because there was very little light because it was summer. So spent about 10-15 minutes up here taking some night snaps. Turned around to pick up my bag to put my camera back in, and my bag was gone. Now I knew I'd dropped the camera bag at my feet, so it must have been within about 10 feet. Nowhere to be seen. No one else was on the area. There was no one else in the area at all, or else I would have seen them. Panicked because there was, a few £100 worth of camera gear in there. And looked, and 20-30 metres away against the wall, my bag was lent. I hadn't lent it there. It had just moved. Very strange. I'm trying to get that to happen again. But whatever spirits are up here aren't very playful these days. But the bag was definitely moved. I wasn't on anything. I wasn't high. I'd not been to the pub for a good few days. But the bag had moved 30 metres. And I swear, I don't know how it happened. And sometimes you do get this strangeness in a lot of these places. Look at that. There we go, 5 wells. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Right, I'm gonna put my puck bag down. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. That's it. Sun's arrived. I've got my photos. Hopefully they'll turn out all right. So I'm gonna head back down again now. Maybe through the hole in the wall. Lovely place. One of my favourite places in the peaks. No idea why. I'm guessing all this, this is from the farm. Piles of it, so they must have done 20 truckloads. I'm guessing they've brought it across the field and dumped it here, away from the farm. Don't know what they'll be digging to take all this dirt out. My guess is either a silo pit or a silo, whatever they call it, or, and this would be far cooler, they've built themselves a nuclear bomb shelter. But it's probably just a silo, a silage pit or a silage, whatever they call it. But whatever it is, they've made a mess. I wonder if in 5,000 years after the second nuclear war, archaeologists will dig these and say that the burial mounds, the joke will be on them. A classic hand opening the gate. I think when I get back to the car and to that spinney, which is full of the beautiful yellow flowers that I've now forgotten the name of, if there's a little bit of sunshine coming in, I might get like a low photo of the flowers for Rachel. See if we can put it on a card. It's worth a pootle. This might well be the last gate of the day. No, it's not the last gate of the day. This, well, that was loud. This is the last gate of the day, I reckon. And this is the Pennine Bridleway. I've not walked a great deal of it, but it appears to go through some beautiful spots. When I get home, I'm going to have to research it and start doing a few bits and bobs, because I love the dark peak, but as I've started to get older, I've started to love the white peak as well. Some of these steep paths are just as challenging, and the landscape is very, very different. There's a lot more archaeology, there's a lot more villages, there's a lot less access land. An awful lot of the walking isn't on open moorland, and can't really walk across fields because it's farmland rather than moorland again. But the paths themselves are nice, and with views like that, not bad. Oh, so we get around to there. I think next week, when I've got another couple of days off, I might nip over to the Goyt Valley, see if that burnt out Volvo's been shifted. I think it's only been there about 4 years. I'm sure these trees turn green overnight. Oh, no, that wasn't the last gate. We have yet another one. Tell you what, there's no end of footpaths around here. So this is the Pennine Bridleway. This goes yonder. I'll just trap my finger. That's a footpath down there, which I'm guessing crosses the A6 and heads for Cheadale, maybe. That the car's going past, that stand of trees, I think is one of the other 16 spinneys. I'm hoping that's not where my car is parked, because if it is, I'm walking past it. I think my spinney is this one down here. Yeah, I'm sure that's a spinney. That's one of the 16 spinneys. That's a spinney. That's another of the 16 spinneys. And then my spinney is that one, because I went up over there via them trees. It was quite a nice walk, hardly used at all. Amazing how a little restricted byway sandwiched between these hills and the A6 can be quite a nice little walk. Onwards. I had a look at the footage this DJI Osmo takes, DJI Pocket 3 I think it is, and compared to my GoPro Hero 13, which I bought cheap, this Osmo, or this DJI gimbal camera, to me is way better. No artifacts, just better in every way, to be honest. It's slightly more expensive because it's got the gimbal on, but I do regret buying the GoPro. Everyone says how good it is, but this is my spinney near the vacant and disused pub. So that's it, back at the car, back to the A6, and bright sunshine. So I'm going to take some photos of the flowers in the spinney, I think the celandines, and then I'm going to bugger off home. If you did manage to watch this all the way through, and I think it's going to be a long video, I know my videos are boring, thanks for watching, and if you liked it, do give me a like. Bye bye.